Hey, this is Marilyn Gigliotti.
Hey, this is Brian O'Halloran.
Hey, everybody. My name is Scott Schiaffo, actor best known as the Chulies Gum Guy from the film Clerks.
And welcome to Clerks Minute.
You're listening to Clerks Minute.
And I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Clerks Minute, the show to look back at 1994 Kevin Smith's classic One Caitlin Had Sex Minute at a Time. I'm Blake.
I'm Kyle, and in the case of this movie, every minute is a Caitlin had sex minute.
Oh, true. But in this scene, everyone is very confused. Everyone is a bit confused here right now.
Okay, you see, when a man and a woman love each other very, very much...
Dude, I know what fucking sex is. You don't have to explain this to me. Trust me, you don't have to explain this to me. And I'm married to your sisters. I'm going to end that sentence right there.
Well, no, they were just saying everyone's confused. Okay, so when a man and a woman love each other very, very much, they fuck like rabbits. The end.
Anyway. So, we come back and Caitlin is explaining...
Yeah.
How Dante apparently is very good in the bathroom, but Dante wasn't even here yet.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, here we go.
Apparently Dante is the Flash.
Apparently. Even that has never been a joke in the Flash. Yeah. They have made sex jokes in the Flash, though. Yeah. They have done that in the Flash. Okay, true story, because you've been in the Flash. We'll get back to this in a second. Yeah. In the Flash, in the first season, there was a great joke that went over anyone under the age of 16, this joke went over their head, which I appreciate. You know what I mean? Because he didn't get the joke, but I really chuckled. What's it called? Barry was going on a date.
Yeah.
And he really liked the girl. And he goes up to Caitlin in the show, not just Caitlin in there. Goes and says, "Well, I haven't exactly done anything since I had my powers. Do you think that'll affect everything?" And the reaction's hysterical because it's all adults. It's a very funny joke. But then he's like, I don't know. So then they start him and the girl start making out on the couch. And then his speed kind of kicks in.
Yeah.
And his hands start shaking on her back and she starts moaning. And I'm like, I lost it. I just cracked up laughing. I'm like, they just made a vibrator joke on the Flash. That's amazing.
Lower.
That is amazing. But they made a vibrator joke on the Flash.
Hey, he's the best friend you could ever have that doesn't take 2 C cells.
Oh, man. Well, after that scene, I'm like, now that him and Iris are together, I'm like, they must have amazing sex. I'm like, that's amazing. But that joke is in there. That's a first season joke on the Flash. I'm like, that's fantastic.
Once you go Flash, he owns your ass.
Oh, my God. So back to this. This happened a lot in the last minute. So back to this. Caitlin goes and says, when you just lay perfectly still and let me do all the work. Well then, and Dante's still very confused, and Randall's the only one like, am I missing something here? Which is fair, which is a totally fair reaction at this point. So Caitlin explains, and this is amazing. I went back there and Dante was already waiting for me. It was so cool. I'm going to read this in the script because it's a little different, but I'm going to read this in the script. Yeah. He didn't say a word, he just was ready, you know? Yeah. Well then... And we didn't kiss or talk or anything. He just kind of sat there and let me do all the work.
Wow. Well, enough about the last time Melania and Donald did it.
Oh, well, wow. Yeah. Randall's amazing. New dog. I didn't even see you go back there. Fantastic. Caitlin continues, and the fact that there weren't any lights on made it so... God, that was so great. And then I actually made sure I wrote down in my notes.
Actually, that would be the only way anybody would be able to fuck Donald. Hello!
Okay, enough with the Trump jokes, please. Enough. Her reaction was, her other line that was on the screen, it says, my legs are still shaking, which is, wow, impressive. Not going to lie. It's absolutely impressive. But Dante says it wasn't me. It takes a second. Hey, it does take a deep second in here. It's like, wait, what the fuck? Wait a second here. Even Kayla comes to the realization, like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Wait, I think it's going through the first 4 or 5 layers.
Well, in one of those moments where it's like, we were joking about the silence in some of these scenes earlier in the movie, and this is the one time in this whole, like, the last, 10 minutes where a silent moment needed a lot.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. Because she just stands there like, what? Wait, what did you say?
I think it's going through the first 4 or 5 layers. We have comprehension.
So, her reaction was, yeah, right, who was it, Randall? Which is very, very funny, knowing they were engaged in real life. It's a very funny joke. But, and Dante, though, I love how Dante's reaction was it you? That was the
that's entirely plausible.
Which is valid, it's a valid point,
Although I highly doubt that Randall would remain still throughout the whole thing.
No, but he goes and says, I was up here the whole time, which is the truth, which is absolutely the truth. To Randall's credit, he was being a good friend and watching the store. To his credit. As much as it's ridiculous. And by the way, so we're having this whole serious moment, and in the background you can still hear the porn.
Yeah.
In the background, you can still hear the yelling from the porn in the background, which is absolutely hysterical, no matter what's going on in the scene. To hear, like, people screaming in pleasure in the background of the scene is so funny. So, Randall says he was up all the time. And then Caitlin is kind of uncomfortable at this point, which I don't really blame her for. I really can't blame her. And she goes and pretty much said, you two better quit it. And Dante said, I'm serious. Yeah. And Caitlin's like, we didn't just have sex in the bathroom?
No, I don't think you did if he's denying it.
Well, the funny part is when you have to ask that question, there's something wrong with your life. When you have to actually ask the man you think you had sex with, did we just have sex in the bathroom? There's something wrong with your life. There really is a problem.
Sort of like when your evil plan involves you having to piss into a jar at some point, there's something wrong with your life.
And Dante is honestly confused. And, I just got back from outside, and that is where we end our minute.
You know, I just love, we didn't just have sex in the bathroom. No, because if you two did, considering the fact that he seems to put you on a fucking pedestal, he would have admitted it.
I know he would be. He would be the kind of guy that would do it and not be able to not talk about it. You know what I mean? Like
we had sex and it was great.
I just had sex. Is that Lonely Island song? Lonely Island song.
That's just. Well, okay, we didn't know why you needed to tell that to the milkmaid, but
I'm gonna have to play the Lonely Island song now.
She said, "Can you keep this on the down low?" Sure. We just had sex and it was great. Oh, that'll be me after I finally lose it.
I just had sex and it felt so good.
Well, it'll be more like, knock, knock, who's there? I did it!
Wasn't that a joke in that 70s show? When
Fez finally
had sex? And that, the entire episode surrounded him and him making I did it jokes. The entire episode! Oh my god, so. Alright. Well, that being said, we should probably wrap this up. By the way, I'd like to make it. I don't say this, and I really should say this more often. When you guys hear music on this show, we use the Spotify rule. Because according to the internet podcasting rules, if you own a streaming app, like I do, I pay for Spotify. It's a streaming app I pay for. Me and my wife pay for it. That means we have the right to play the music. I just want to make sure I put that out there. I don't want any legal ramifications of playing on the music we play on this show. Yeah. So that's why I don't say that enough. And eventually, by the way, near the end of the season, I will be putting up a full Spotify playlist of all the music that's gotten played on this show. Because the only reason that isn't up there now is because I don't want to ruin surprises in past or future episodes of music gags and things like that. I don't want to ruin the surprise. So at the end of the season, I will put up a playlist of all the music played on this show. Because it's a pretty damn long list now. Especially after, I can say this now, after Jake from Dark Knight Minute doing his Miley Cyrus thing, where when we're recording this, that episode hasn't aired yet, but we have heard this already. I went in and I found every single Miley Cyrus song that he mentioned and put it in there in the montage. It's one of the funnier montages I put together on this show. It's very, very funny. So I just wanted to put that out there. So we are part of the Feeling White Podcast Network. You can hear us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It is, as I mentioned on our last episode, it is WrestleMania week. And if you're right after this, if you're a wrestling fan, jump over to the Blake and Sal show. You can hear Thursday where we talk about everything outside of NXT and WWE. And then Friday, we have our traditional WrestleMania preview show where we talk about NXT TakeOver New Orleans and WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans. So that's going to be an epic show. It always is every year. And if you're a wrestling fan, you will get your fill in these 2 days. Plus, there'll be other announcements on future shows and other specials coming up on the Blake and Sal show. So, that all being said, we'll come back on Monday. We'll continue this scene. We'll have a special guest in studio. So that'll be fun. We figured we need a little bit of law enforcement help in studio for the next couple of episodes. So, come back on Monday for that. Till then, thank you all for listening to the Clerks Minute. I'm Blake.
I'm Kyle.
Have a good day, everybody.
You mean we didn't just have sex in the bathroom?
Snorting, smoking weed, doing coke, drinking beers, rolling fatties, smoking blunts. Who smokes the blunts? We smoke the blunts, rolling blunts and smoking.